camp that Jalen has had and being really strong. What have you seen from him and how has he impressed?
Leadership, growth, I believe. I think the new group of receivers kind of maybe got him kind of like hits his team. Like he been here 5 years. You know, some made kind of comments like coach and me and him been together probably one of the longest tenured groups of people in those positions. I think the natural growth of him becoming a better leader, being able to speak, get guys to do more. How you say it, kind of be in that position of not as much Peyton Manning, like be able to get on people and be confident about that. I think that's the biggest thing growth wise. I'm really excited about that.
You talked about when we got you earlier this fall how Jalen maybe pressed a little bit when things weren't going as well for him a year ago, and yet some of the best things that he does are off schedule and creating something out of nothing. How do you balance that as a coach to kind of let him do the things that he does really well while also at the same time, you know, maybe reining in some of the pressure?
Oh, that's a great question. I always tell people, I tell you guys this before, it's like there's this line, and we just talking about people like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, all those guys. There's this line where, as a quarterback, you got to figure out where the line is, where greatness is great, and then over the line you become bad things. Really, you can go down really fast. So in practice, you got to keep testing that line. I think the good thing we do in practice is put kids in situations, 2-minute situations, end of game situations, just let them kind of press. There's gonna be some mistakes. There's gonna be some bad plays, but kind of get a feel of what he is comfortable with, what I'm comfortable calling for him. I think that's the best way to be able to get that done. So that's the exciting part. It's hard sometimes. I said learning stinks sometimes. It's hard sometimes. And actually, like, ooh, that's not good. But you also figure out what kids can and can't do. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna let kids fail in practice to find it so they won't fail on Saturday, if that makes sense. So I think that's where it's been more fun to kind of see it. And we're not gonna call that, oh, he likes that, and it's been great.
Lance said that you'd be up in the box this year for games. What went into that decision?
The way our game plan is, it's hard. Like, we're pretty wordy, some of our stuff, so it's kind of easier to be able to have a relaxed atmosphere and be able to kind of spread out the game plan, kind of see what's going on. So that's why what I love to be on the field, the quarterbacks, you got to do. I'm gonna miss that. I love that part. But it's just like in the bowl game, for what we do offensively and for the vision, be able to see what's going on, it's much easier to see. When you're on the field, you can't see the other side, if that makes sense. So you can see what's close to you, but you can't see what's actually going on. Where here, and the quarterbacks, we always kind of have the back end to front end picture, so you can kind of see what's going on secondary wise. You kind of see, ooh, we got this, or it might be able to have this, or you can't see on the sideline. So that's what makes it easier. And for the way to call plays, it's hard if you have this game plan to be able to kind of have this big long game plan, to be able to hit this button and talk to the quarterback and then find this play and so on and so forth. So it's just easier for me to be up in the box. And I worked pretty well in the bowl game. So hopefully we'll maintain that positive hit, right? To kind of build off that. But it's a great question.
Throughout your coaching career, have you had an indicator at this time of year how ready your guys are to go?
I don't know. That's a good question too. I don't know if there's a specific indicator. I think there's a point right now where it's like, what I can feel now is the kids are like, let's get to Fresno State. It's at 8, I don't know, what is it, 18? Practice 18, 17, 18, 19. You're kind of in that position of like, okay, camp's kind of over, but it's not. Let's get to Fresno. So that's a good feel because I think they're very confident in what we're doing. Like I told you guys before, we put a lot on them throughout the summer to make them, we wanted them to be prepared to come to camp, that camp starts at practice 16 of spring ball and not practice 1, if that makes sense to you. So we didn't go back to the basics. The basics should be, we rolled. So I think that's helped those guys get in a great position to feel good about themselves, and now we kind of just roll. So that's where I kind of feel like there's not as many mental mistakes. There's not many mistakes going on. So in terms of those kids, it's really exciting. Mistakes maybe like, you throw it not perfect, or we miss a block or something. In terms of like schematically, there's not many things. So it kind of, that's where I kind of feel like this would be kind of fun. Kind of excited to see what these guys do come next Saturday night.
I think you've talked about how Jalen has looked more locked in and more serious in his demeanor. How's that kind of translated onto the field?
I think communication-wise, you kind of feel it. Him talking more. How you say this, kind of like, he talks more like a coach now. Like me and him can talk about, hey, what do you see this, coach? I see this. What do you like? I can tell him now, like, hey, what do you want to see? I want to see this, coach, or coach, I want to see this in this 2-minute drill. I got to get this throw in. And the good thing is, he knows what throws he hasn't made yet. Like, coach, I need more reps on this. So it's not necessarily, you never try to beat your defense in practice. You're trying to get yourself prepared for the season. So sometimes it's great now. It's his communication, like, coach, I haven't thrown this route or run this option player, done this run game, RPO type deal, you mind putting that, I wanna see that. Now that's the kind of relationship we have now. It's like, what do you need? I need this, coach. And we can sit down and say, hey, what do you like on third down? I think this week, these two plays will be really good. Yeah, I'm with you. So a lot more of a kind of collaboration. And him knowing our offense so well that he can just collaborate. Yeah, coach, I think I like this concept. Well, let's do it.
What is your plan for this year adapting to the loss of Devin Neal?
Daniel LaShawn, that's our plan, which is a good plan.
Yes.
Besides the rest of the guys, I think it's really cool. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but it's pretty impressive to have a kid like Devin graduate and go on. I hope he does great things, and have two guys behind him picking up LaShawn and having Daniel Highshaw. It's like, that's just such a bonus. And you guys have seen Daniel at his best, and so how excited you are. I think he's in as good a shape in the however long he's been in. He looks great in terms of just changing direction, and he's worked so hard. He's great at pass pro. His hands have gotten better. I'm so excited about him. Then you have LaShawn that comes in there, and like, geez, he's like, you got two guys who learn. One guy learned from Devin. Seen him, another guy who's played a different spot comes and picks things up really fast. So I think we're in a great spot. I'm really excited about that room, those two guys. Let alone all the guys, those two guys are pretty fun.
And then as a coach, how are you getting players ready to go into a new stadium and bring that energy in there?
I think it's going to be a natural energy. I think you go in there and practice, you can't not, I know it's double negative, you can't not be excited. Like, it's just, and it's kind of a cool look now because you kind of see the new and the old. Kind of a cool little part of it to see it. But going in there, you're like, I can't even think about what it used to look like. I really can't. I can't even picture it where it's changed so much. But if you walk in there, and we haven't seen the scoreboard on and that stuff yet, but you walk in, it's a natural, like, wow, here we go. So I think it's gonna be, I think the kids will be, and the electricity in that building, I think it's gonna be a really loud building. It's kind of high though in this direction, it's gonna be really loud and exciting. So I think it's just gonna be electric.
Going back to the question about the running backs, what's kind of going to dictate usage pattern at that position? You don't have that clear 1A like Devin was last
Right.
year. Is it situational, hot hand? There's certain stuff that fits certain backs better. What's going to dictate?
Combination, and I think what Jay Wall does a good job. We talked about this. I think we all feel the same way. It's like you like to get guys, but you don't want, you hate to not have a guy get some reps early, if that makes sense to you. Like not playing a guy and all of a sudden doesn't get there. It's like you like to play them both early and get them involved in the game. So I think you'll see them both pretty early in most games. Kind of give them a chance to get touches, and where you go. I think it's really hard for any position all of a sudden not play for a while, so I can get in there midway through the second quarter or something. So I think that's kind of the plan. There'll be something, of course, they might do something better than the other one or not, but they both do things really well. So it's not like there's much, I don't think, play specific. It's like, hey, let's get, hey, whatever series we decide, Jay will decide, and we decide as a group, great, let's do it. So I think you'll see them both, good amount.
Coach, what group are you most excited for, and how will you maximize their strengths?
All groups. You know I can't add. I'm excited about all of them. Back when I was just a quarterback guy, it'd be like quarterback room, obviously. But I think all the groups have grown really well. The depth, what I've seen compared to last year, I think the depth in all positions is probably the best we've had. I think there's always been depths in some positions, that makes sense, and feel good, but now it's like every position is competition still. I know the coach talked about the depths are still working itself out, which is awesome. That means you have a lot of good guys who are competing. So I think that's what I'm most excited about. The overall group, I think has been really fun to watch. I think there's a good position. I think the depth at all positions, I think selfishly a little bit, the quarterback room is pretty darn deep just because there's so many of them that can all play. And that's not, in this day and age, I think that's hard to find. So I'm really excited about that room. I'm excited about all the rooms.
And one more from me. Michael talked about Deshaun Hanife's growth as a leader. Just wondered if you could add to what you've seen from him and how he's stepping into a new role.
I think going through it, not playing, going through what he's done, I think, and he's kind of jumped in this one, getting out. I think it's also fun for him to see this opportunity. He's getting back to be able to go. That's what I've kind of seen in him, the excitement of getting back on the field and playing and growing and stuff. Plus, he's an older guy, so I think he's seen a lot, which has helped, you know what I mean? So I think that's what I'm most excited about is watching him. I think you can see him just by being excited to get back on the field and playing. And I also have an experience with let's go and get it on. No one had been there and done that before.
Coach Opel talked a little bit about the left guard battle. Just what have you seen from the guys there over the last week or so?
Good competition. I think growth. I think pushing. I've always said this before. I said the best coaching sometimes comes by guys competing. If you have good competition, sometimes what I've seen in the quarterback world, sometimes this guy makes a play, the other guy wants to make a play. I think that's what happened at that position. I think you've seen some really good things by Meir, and the Big T has kind of come around too, and so on. So they're kind of pushing each other. So I've really seen growth by those guys. I think they're making each other better, which is enhanced, creating much more depth for us up front.
And with Calvin at left tackle, what sort of growth have you seen from him, both just on the field and also as a
Athletic, he's always been obviously the talent to be tremendously really good, and now you see it all kind of coming together, kind of making sense. This whole offense and kind of growing in. I can see him as now being able to play even faster. I'm really excited about him, and he's done a really good job, and he's got a great demeanor, a great spirit, and I think he just keeps growing and growing, becoming better and better every day. I think it's become the confidence within the offense, and with Coach Paulson there, I think it's been an added bonus for him.
Hey, Coach, Lance Leipold told us earlier with the new guys that the wide receiver group would be something that fans would notice right away. What have you seen from that group?
A group of guys that doesn't care who gets the ball and plays for each other. I've really seen that, and that's not, I don't know if that's always normal everywhere, especially when you got guys from a bunch of different programs coming in that probably have all gotten the ball a lot or believe that they should have. These guys all come in, it's kind of like they just want an opportunity to prove themselves. They've all kind of grown and play for each other. It's really impressive. You're going to see a group of guys who really love playing, that doesn't care, none of them care who gets the ball, or they're going to block for each other, they're going to play for each other. I've seen this group of guys run off routes to help their teammates get open 100 miles per hour. They know probably they're not getting the ball, those kind of moments. So I think that's what I'm really impressed about, the group of kids who have I believe they really, really, really like each other and want to perform well and are just as excited when they make a play as they're excited they are for their teammates making a play as if they were making a play. And that's what those little things get me excited, because they all got their own strengths and weaknesses, their strengths obviously, but it's fun to watch them all just kind of play different positions and just roll guys in and out.
With regard to the offensive line, again, Coach Paulson had mentioned last week, because of those competitions, you have more depth, and maybe you could consider rotating more than in years past. I was wondering what's kind of your perspective or philosophy on rotating on the offensive line?
I don't mind it. I believe that if guys are similar, I believe Coach Paulson said the same thing. If they're very similar, I don't see why you don't. I don't think that makes sense. Like I know everybody talks about continuity and these 5 guys. Well, when you rotate within practice, the way we rotate anyways, the continuity is happening. I don't think that's as big a deal as for some people. If a guy never plays with somebody else, all of a sudden you throw them in. We throw guys in all the time. So it's always happening. Just like the receiver world. Guys are playing with these different groups of receivers all the time. So it's like a constant, they're used to it. So I don't see any reasoning why, if guys are really close, and I think we've done it before, but we have no problem with the guy plays 2 series, the other guy plays 2 series, and away you go. That doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't make me, I'm excited about it, because that means I think both of them are good. I think you struggle up there, neither one of them are good, are as good as they could be. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, trying to find the answer. Like, hey, you got 2 guys who are playing really well. Good playing both.
Anything else for Coach Zebrowski? All right, thanks
Real quick.
I saw a hand. You can just.
Cam Pickett, what has he done to stand out to you, and what skill set does he have?
He's speed and strength. He's a strong young man. He's explosive. I think that's what kind of stands out, being able to change direction really fast and have great burst. I think that's what help him as he plays different positions, but play the inside slot position sometimes, be able to create separate, kind of like what Luke did in that regard. You hope to get that regard, and I think he's an explosive, dynamic kid. He's got a great upside.
We got one more.
If you had one word to describe each position group, what would you use?
So you want me to have one word for each position group?
Yeah, like O-line, tight end, quarterback, running back.
One word for each group. Okay. Quarterback room. Potential. I always want dynamic. I think they all have I'll expand like the dynamic, meaning they all have the ability to run it and throw it, which I think is pretty cool. That's kind of a dynamic group. The wide receiver room, like I said before, whatever word you use for their tight knit group. What's the one word I can use for that?
Selfless.
There you go. Selfless. Love. So you guys can create the words. I'll leave you in the story. You guys create the word. Selfless group. I love it. Tight end group. They are multi-talented group, or how do you say they can do a lot of things, all of them can do different things, versatile, love it, versatility. They're a versatile group, versatility. So I'm gonna give you a story, you read it, versatile group, great word, O-line, physical. I'm gonna say tough guys, I like, that group is physical, tough guy, I use 2 words for them. Running backs, powerful. I'm the same way. My coaching staff too?
Offensive coordinator.
Awesome. Position, overall coaching group, a blast to be around. That's a good question, man. I wasn't prepared. I got a lot of, I'd like to thank you, Colin.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thanks, guys.